Really glad you're here today. I hope you enjoy the video. And if you want to support the channel, tap. It's totally free, and it helps more than you'd think. Goldie Hawn truly despised him more than almost anyone else. But before that tension ever entered the picture, Goldie's story started long before fame, headlines, or Hollywood drama. She was born Goldie Jean Hawn on November 21, 1945, in Washington, D.C., and grew up in a middle-class household that valued creativity and independence. Her father worked as a band leader, and her mother owned a jewelry shop, and together they encouraged originality and confidence from an early age. That environment shaped Goldie's natural spark, helping her develop the charm and sharp comedic instincts that would later make her impossible to ignore. Even as a child, she had a playful energy and an instinctive sense of humor that pulled people toward her. By the late 1960s, Goldie broke into the spotlight as a cast member on the groundbreaking sketch comedy show Rowan and Martin's Laugh-In. Her bright smile, expressive eyes, and fearless comedic timing made her stand out immediately. Viewers were hooked, and her quirky, bubbly characters felt fresh and bold at a time when television wasn't overflowing with that kind of personality. That platform launched her straight into Hollywood stardom. Goldie moved smoothly from television to film, proving she was more than just a comedy act. She showed serious range, shifting between humor and emotional depth in a way very few performers could pull off naturally. Her talent earned real recognition. She won an Academy Award for Best Supporting Actress for Cactus Flower, and followed it with major hits like Private Benjamin, Overboard, and later The First Wives Club. She wasn't just funny. She was magnetic, relatable, and capable of carrying an entire movie on her own. Audiences connected with Goldie because she felt real. She brought warmth, honesty, and humanity into every role, making her characters feel familiar and grounded. For years, her career seemed untouchable, like nothing could slow her down. Then, the tone shifted fast. Two highly anticipated films, The Out-of-Towners and Town and Country, disappointed at the box office and sent shockwaves through her momentum. Hollywood can be unforgiving, and when back-to-back projects stumble, the industry starts whispering. Instead of chasing approval, Goldie quietly stepped away from the spotlight, choosing space over pressure. Her 2002 film The Banger Sisters, starring alongside Susan Sarandon, became her final on-screen appearance for more than 15 years. Fans were stunned, and that absence felt heavy for anyone who grew up watching her light up the screen. Then came the shock return. In 2017, Goldie re-emerged after a long, self-imposed break, stepping back into the spotlight with renewed energy and Snatched. Her timing was sharp, her presence was effortless, and audiences were reminded instantly why she'd been loved for generations. It wasn't just another role. It felt like a moment people had been waiting on. And if you want more of these comeback stories, subscribe now so you don't miss the next deep dive when it drops. Outside of acting, Goldie earned deep respect for what she built off-screen. She co-founded the Hawn Foundation, focusing on mindfulness and emotional well-being for children, with an emphasis on emotional intelligence and mental health. Her mission went beyond fame. She put real energy into helping kids build balance and inner strength in a world that keeps getting louder and harder to navigate. She wasn't only entertaining people, she was pushing something meaningful into schools, families, and communities that connected with her message. That's a different kind of legacy, and it's part of why her story still matters. Goldie's love life also drew attention for decades, and for good reason. Her personal journey reads like a full movie script: passion, heartbreak, lessons learned, and lasting devotion. In May 1969, she married dancer-turned-director Gus Traconis in a small ceremony in Honolulu. At the time, Goldie was a rising star, energized and hopeful about the future. But differences surfaced, and their path drifted. They separated in 1973, and their divorce became final in 1975. After that, she dated several men as she searched for balance and clarity about what she truly needed. She later became engaged to musician Bill Hudson of the Hudson Brothers. They married in July 1976 and welcomed two children, Oliver and Kate, who would later become major stars themselves. From the outside, it looked like everything was falling into place. Behind the scenes, pressure built. Fame, career demands, and personal differences strained the marriage, and by 1980, the relationship ended. Goldie didn't close herself off from love, though. She kept following her instincts. Then everything changed on Valentine's Day in 1983, when she began dating Kurt Russell. Their chemistry was immediate, natural, and impossible to fake. Over time, they built one of Hollywood's strongest partnerships, creating a blended family rooted in trust and respect, and welcoming their son Wyatt in 1986. In an industry where relationships often fade fast, their bond stood tall as proof that loyalty and real partnership can survive fame. They didn't need a wedding ring to make it real, and their longevity became its own kind of statement. But the story that still catches people off guard isn't about a romance. It's about a surprising grudge. Goldie once admitted, bluntly, "I truly hated him more than anyone," when speaking about her former co-star, Buddy Ebsen. Buddy was a respected Hollywood veteran, famously polished and successful, with a career that stretched from classic musicals to major television fame. But to Goldie, early on, he felt overwhelming, intimidating, and impossible to please. This all traces back to the filming of The One and Only, Genuine Original Family Band in 1968. Goldie was still new to film work, stepping onto a major studio set for the first time. She wasn't just learning lines. She was learning how to survive pressure, expectations, and the commanding presence of a seasoned pro. She described Buddy as overbearing, loud, and extremely demanding, which made even simple scenes feel like a high-stakes exam. She recalled feeling like every line was being judged, every moment measured, and every mistake treated like proof she didn't belong. Context matters. Goldie had already exploded on Laugh-In, where the environment let her play, experiment, and find her rhythm in a freer, looser space. A film set can be the opposite, rigid, controlled, and built on precision. Working beside a veteran who took his craft seriously could feel like mentorship to one person and intimidation to another. For Goldie, young, ambitious, and still finding her footing, it reportedly felt harsh and personal, even if the intention wasn't cruelty. And that's where her honesty gets interesting. She later softened the edges of that story and admitted time changed how she saw it. She suggested he didn't mean to be cruel, but back then, every correction felt like an attack. In other words, the resentment wasn't only about him, it was also about what he represented: authority, pressure, and the fear of failing in the first real test of her film career. That kind of clash is a familiar Hollywood pattern, the tension between a rising talent and a veteran standard-bearer. It can crush someone, or it can force them to level up fast. For Goldie, it did the second. She has implied that despite how intensely she disliked him during filming, the experience taught her more than any acting class ever could. It toughened her. It sharpened her instincts. It helped build the resilience behind the sparkle. And years later, when she looked back, the bitterness didn't stay the same. It turned into something closer to gratitude, the uncomfortable kind, the kind you only feel after you realize a hard chapter helped make you who you became. Goldie's screen debut was a trial by fire, but after that, she went on to become an Oscar-winning actress and one of the most beloved figures in American film, which makes the story feel even more human. Behind the glow, there were nerves, pressure, and moments where she felt small. If you're still watching, tap like if this kind of behind-the-scenes honesty is what you come here for. And subscribe if you want the next part of this series, because the best Golden Age stories always have a side the public never saw. In the bigger picture, Goldie's story isn't just about a famous smile. It's about reinvention, stepping away when the noise gets too loud, coming back when the timing is right, and choosing impact beyond the camera through the Hawn Foundation's work with kids. It's also about something Hollywood rarely admits out loud. Sometimes the people who frustrate you the most are the ones who push you forward the hardest. So now I want to hear from you. Did the Buddy Ebsen confession shock you, or did it just make Goldie feel more real? Drop your thoughts in the comments below, hit that like button if you felt something real, and don't forget to subscribe for more stories and for the follow-up chapters you won't want to miss.